What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Ropes, aka BTR. My name is Fernando, also known as Retro Relapse, and with me today, as usual, on the ones and twos, holding it down with the BFF duty, Randy, aka Randizzle. What did you, Randy, on a wonderful, wonderful Top Rope Tuesday?
It's an awesome Tuesday evening. We get to talk about wrestling, our favorite subject. We've been doing this for now a couple of years, and this is a special Top Rope Tuesday. But before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe on any platform you get your podcast needs, wherever you watch or listen. Hit that little bell to get notified whenever we drop new episodes. And of course, follow us on the socials at Beyond the Ropes 210. Make sure to leave a comment, interact with us. We're going to start having some polls up. We might do a little special one offs because we are on the road to WrestleMania. This is the biggest season of wrestling, and that's just WWE. AEW's full steam ahead right now towards Revolution, and those things are those storylines and matches are heating up, to be honest with you. So we're getting close to obviously it's the springtime. It's March, right? It's the beginning of March, and we're really in it because we got 47 days to WrestleMania. It's 46 now, and I think Revolution we got a couple of weeks,
It's on the 15th of March.
so we got 2 weeks.
12 days, baby.
So we're there. We're already there. 2 business weeks. There you go.
There you
And
go.
then we got 46 days till WrestleMania. So there's a lot of wrestling to talk about. But we're going to focus today on WrestleMania because, well, that is the biggest show of the year for wrestling. It is our
This
Super
is
Bowl.
wrestling's Super Bowl. For those who don't really know wrestling like we do, this is considered wrestling's Super Bowl. We just had the Super Bowl last month, and what a showing that was. And now it's our Super Bowl, where the wrestlers perform on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. And this year happens to be number 42.
42 at Las Vegas. They're running it back one more time. They really want your money.
Yes, they do.
And I'm
Because we already know next year it will be in Saudi Arabia.
and I'm still curious. I'm still pushing for all these other companies to kind of band together and make something happen in the States. I think that they anyone who bands together will gain a whole lot of fanfare at the end of the day. Yes, people will still want to watch WrestleMania, but let's be realistic. It'll be in the afternoon, so you can still do all the wrestling at night in the
True.
states. So it's gonna be pretty crazy. But like I said, we're gonna touch base on some highlights, some stories, some random matches because this is WrestleMania, and we were just off air talking about the Andre the Giant Battle Royal Memorial and how that kind of started showcasing more wrestlers. But we have got a question: who has not had a WrestleMania match? And that's kind of hard to go along because there's so many wrestlers. Off the top of my head, Brooklyn Brawler.
No, I want to say he's in he had to been in one of the uh, dude. It's gonna in the '90s, in the mid '90s, he had to have been at WrestleMania at least once, dude,
You would
as
think
a
so.
jobber.
You would
Yes,
think so, but WrestleMania really wasn't for the jobbers though. Let's be realistic. WrestleMania was for the longest time it was one night. So the only people who really made it on WrestleMania were mainline stories or people on the come up, and they were about to be big stars. So I think Brooklyn Brawler, and I think you should pull up our unofficial sponsors. The what are they called?
SmackDownHotel.com.
I think I am pretty sure that is our go-to site, our unofficial sponsors that really do have every fucking list you can think of that pertains to wrestling. And I'm pretty sure they have a list of who's been in WrestleManias or maybe who hasn't. And if not, guess what? We have all the world's information at our fingertips, and Google's a click away. Google is a click away to figure out if
Yeah.
these people have not participated in a WrestleMania match.
Did you know, random fact, that he portrayed Doink at one point?
Oh, dang. Okay.
May 1995. He was Doink the Clown.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Random fact. Did not know that.
Yeah. They have all his face and heel turns on here. His finishers, his theme songs, titles and accomplishments.
Does it have
Uh,
him his non WrestleMania match? Like I think he had never wrestled in.
that's the one thing we may have to shoot an email over to these guys to add that uh
A
as a
tab.
snippet on, yeah, as something on there, a little tab of did he do it or not? Because there's nothing on here that shows it.
Then he probably didn't, man. To be honest with you, like I said, I think for the longest time it was one night, and the only people who made it to the card were people who were top stars, defending championships, or were on the rise to become the next big thing. So I think, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on this because it's gonna get really, really, really hard to figure out who hasn't been on the WrestleMania. Because as crazy as it sounds, you've had celebrities like fucking. You have celebrities show up. You've had athletes show up. Shit, Gronk was on there.
The Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi, competed at WrestleMania, specifically appearing in the gimmick Battle Royal at WrestleMania 17 in 2001.
The gimmick. Also, 17.
Did not
Okay,
ha- he did not have a traditional one-on-one match. Uh, he was present, often accompanying managers like Bobby Heenan, but he did show up. He accompanied Bobby the Brain Heenan for his match against the Red Rooster in 1989 at WrestleMania 5. But in WrestleMania 17, he was in the gimmick battle royal. So apparently they had a whole bunch of gimmick characters that were in a battle royal there at that time, and he was one of them.
oh, there you go. See, I really didn't think he was. I wonder, was he in Brooklyn Brawler gimmick or was he doink like you said he was? In the fun fact.
No, Brooke. He was the only Doink in 90. What was it, 95 to 96? I think.
Okay, okay. I was just curious because it was you said a gimmick match, so
Yeah, because he went back to the brawler gimmick in November of '96. So yeah, for about a year he was Doink. Um,
I'm walking here.
hmm but yeah,
So
no, he was in a WrestleMania match.
there you go. Hey, never thought it
So
took
so the
17.
so the jobber did not job that time. No, no, he did job, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, it's hard to remember that when the fucking Rock fought Stone Cold and that's when Stone Cold turned heel. So
hmm
kind of not. But hey, who else? We don't spend a lot of time on this, but who else off the top of your head do you think was not has had not had a WrestleMania match? It's hard because of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle, the fucking gimmick battle that you talked about just a second ago. Like who else? Um, maybe someone who you think you're surprised they didn't. I can think of more women than men, but even then, I wouldn't even know where to start. Layla,
Of course, Layla had a match. Wasn't she co-champion with Michelle McCool?
but did she have a WrestleMania match?
Oh, okay. So I've got a few here. Went ahead and just threw it in the Google machine and the AI overview. List W wrestlers that have not had a WrestleMania match. Several notable WWE wrestlers throughout history have not competed in a match at WrestleMania or have not had a high profile one-on-one WrestleMania moment. Notable WWE wrestlers with no WrestleMania match or limited appearances: Dean Douglas or Shane Douglas.
The Dean,
Despite a
yeah, yeah.
promising push in '91, he left WWE shortly before WrestleMania 7 and never appeared at the event. Another wrestler, Darren Young, though a part of the Nexus and active during the 2010s, he did not compete in a traditional match on the main card. Another one that you would thought maybe it would have, DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. As of April 25, they were noted as lacking a dedicated high profile WrestleMania match.
I thought they came out last year, but I guess not. Yeah,
The Singh brothers, you remember them?
I remember the Singh brothers.
Often utilized as managers or sidekicks rather than in ring competitors, they lacked a formal Mania match. And then, of course, 205 Live and NXT Talent didn't make the final cut.
I mean, these people aren't. They really aren't a surprise, to be honest with you. Like, again, WrestleMania is for the top dogs and people on the come up. How many? Are there any women on that list by chance?
Um,
Of noteworthy, not just some randoms. Because I'm sure it's majority NXT, majority of fucking indie wrestler turn wrestler or WWE wrestler. I mean,
uh, no. They just talked about. I'm reading this other list that popped up, and it has Lita and Ivory on there, but they've both competed at WrestleMania, so that's a no go. They never competed after that. Gail Kim, but she was in a match. It was a 5-on-5 match,
What?
so that's wrong. This list is wrong.
yeah. So we won't dive in too much to it because it's just gonna be a clusterfuck. Don't worry about it. But you know what? Since we are on the road to WrestleMania, what we won't talk about what's going on now, but what in the past have you looked forward to? And I'll bring one up. My big
I'm
thing.
gonna talk about what you mentioned off air because it was such a spectacle to see when they used to have a 6, 7, or 8 man ladder match for the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania before they decided to do a full pay per view to surround it. And one of the reasons why it was such a great match is because you never expected that kind of mayhem to happen, where everyone was just jumping off of ladders and beating the shit out of each other. It was a fun fucking time when they did that. That one I will agree with you on.
I think they got rid of it because really was stealing the show. So much so that they, like you said, made its own pay per view because it was hot.
It would make more sense if you had that match now that it's 2 days.
I
Since
agree.
Mania is 2 days, that would be a perfect match to have on a Saturday.
That'd be a nice build up because you're like, oh shit, who's gonna have the thing? Who's gonna have the opportunity to maybe
Run it back,
cash in night
WWE,
two, right? Who might have the opportunity to win it on Saturday and cash it in on Sunday?
because they did before. Am I right?
Yes, there was only one person. I think there's one person who did it who won it in the beginning of the night and cashed it in. I think it was a female. Oh no, no, no. Was it a
No,
female? No, it wasn't a
they
female.
never had the female Money in the Bank at that time.
Did someone win it and cash it in same night? I don't know. I know wrestlers have had two matches in one night, like
Hmm.
Daniel Bryan, right? He beat Triple H to get in a match with Randy Orton and Bautista. Remember that one?
Yeah,
But
I
I don't
can't say
know.
I remember anybody that did that. No, no.
Have they ever had any other gimmick matches during WrestleMania? I know they had a TLC, but have they ever had like a steel cage, like that kind of gimmick, steel cage, or obviously the Elimination Chamber wasn't it's too big a thing, but a steel cage or maybe a hardcore match during WrestleMania? I feel like they have.
Yes, because they had the hardcore title.
Was it
Remember?
defended in WrestleMania?
Yes, yes, that was Dependent Mania around that time in the early 2000s. Why? Because everyone was running around with it, so it's just something else that was a side off where you see like 10 wrestlers running after one guy with the fucking belt. So they probably came in and did that as a spot in between matches. But as far as steel cage, you got to think early WrestleMania is like 5, 7, 8, 10. That's probably where they had a steel cage match.
During WrestleMania. I don't remember one. Obviously, you probably could look it up, but I'm not sure.
I am doing that right now.
Nice, nice. Yeah, because I off the top of my head, I don't think of any other gimmick match. I know they have obviously had a TLC match They've had the ladder match, the Money in the Bank match style.
WrestleMania 2. Hulk Hogan defended his WWF World Title against King Kong Bundy inside a blue steel cage match.
Man, I missed that
Marty,
steel cage match. I missed that steel cage.
WrestleMania 3 main event featured a cage match showcasing the evolution of the event and its impact on professional wrestling. Mania 4, the event saw a cage match between The Rock and The Undertaker in 1988. No.
That sounds wrong.
Yeah, this all sounds wrong because it keeps saying the same wrestlers, and it's like, no.
AI,
Uh,
bro. AI don't know what's going on.
no, no, I don't. Pa, 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 pa.
Man, you know what?
The Hogan one was the one that was just right off the bat. Uh, that's true.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember WrestleMania 5, I believe. Don't quote me on this. WrestleMania 5, same day, three different cities, three different lineups. Do you remember that?
That does sound familiar. I
So
remember hearing something about this.
so one night.
WrestleMania 5, I was 6 years old.
Okay, so maybe hey, the brain has taken a lot of damage since 6 years old Fernando. But I believe WrestleMania 5, maybe three, between 3 and 5, three different places. I believe one was in New York, one was in California, and one was Chicago or something. And they each had their own matches, but they only televised like the big matches. Like I know one of the matches was Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. The other one was Andre and somebody. Like they had their big matches, but they were doing like it obviously didn't take off because they stopped doing it. It obviously didn't take off, but I think that's an interesting moment to touch base on because it brings me to the my next question. So next year, WrestleMania is in Saudi. Do you think that WWE tries to do something in the States as well? Same time? There's 2 nights. There's a lot of wrestlers. There's not enough fucking time. Do you think that's something they'd ever touch base back on, or just that's just a once and done
That's
kind
a
of
one
thing?
and done thing from the past. To You have to think about what they put into just one event in one place. All the big stadium that they need to use, the ring, everything for the seating, everything for the lights, the pyro, and for that stage of production to be running two of the same in two different places at the same time, well, not crazy. It's feasible, but does it make sense money wise? Are they going to double what they're going to make? Because you can't have all the wrestlers in two places at once, obviously. But how do you show off or show out what you have going on in one place compared to the other place in equality of matches?
So this is again just my thought process is the main spectacle. Let's just pretend we're talking about next year. The main spectacle is Saudi Arabia. You gotta have your heavy hitters, your Romans, your Punks, your Seths, but you also run a Raw stage and a SmackDown stage, right? And then you have like, and you still put big things on there, but not the biggest stars. You have the IC in the Raw stage and the United States women's and men's on the SmackDown stage, and you showcase the mid cards and maybe in the tag teams, and then WrestleMania itself is for the big grudges, the big heavyweight titles stuff. Again, this is just spitballing. This is not something that would probably be feasible, but I think a it could be beneficial if you play it that way because there's a lot of wrestling, there's a lot of stars, and maybe the ones that are in like the SmackDown and WrestleMania, they do have somewhat of a WrestleMania stage, but not quite. Still a SmackDown and Raw setup. But you get to have those cheaper tickets. You get to have a different set of wrestling. You're still gonna get. It's almost like having a house show, and they're only gonna go live on X, Y, and Z matches. you're gonna have a full card. You're gonna have a five, six match card, and you're not gonna pay tens of thousands of dollars for a ticket. You're still gonna pay some money, but you're gonna have some of the mid cards being defended finally. So again, it's a battle royal. You make a big spectacle. One of them has a cage. One of them has a fucking TLC match, and then again, the main thing at Saudi Arabia is the fucking heavyweight championships, the fucking street fights. I think it's possible. There's enough gimmick matches out there to make it happen, and there's enough wrestlers from SmackDown, Raw, and then you include NXT. There's enough people to do it and still make some money and do it all over the place. Thought process. I don't know. I don't know how you would add on to that, but do you have any add-ons to that? Possibly.
I disagree with what you're saying, only not to be the bad guy and disagree with it and play the heel on it, but more in retrospect, just kind of thinking like a normal person because I love the idea. I do, but you have your audience trained a certain way with how you're running the big show. So, in my opinion, I think you'd have to do that with another show like SummerSlam to test it to see if the people are willing to buy and watch mid card and under matches and still pay 10,000, 12,000 for a front row seat.
That's why I said like those other venues would be cheaper. Significant. It'd almost be like going to a SmackDown or a Raw. So they're not gonna be crazy expensive, but you're also not putting all the extravaganza like you would for the main stage, right? But at the
But
same token,
you're also having, but what's really messing that whole picture up is the label you put on the package. You expect a spectacle every time you go to a WWE show. What you're doing is making WWE do an AEW show and or almost an independent show. And WWE fans are fickle as fuck. The hardcore only WWE fucking muzzle. I've never seen any other wrestler or wrestling ever that I don't think they would get off to just that. It would be great though, because if you think about it, since you don't have the higher tier classes there, you could put on more of a intimate showing. You could have more
longer matches.
yeah, you could get well, I mean not if you're simultaneously doing it on the same show. But if you're trying to do the other stuff like meet and greets, that'll be easier because you're not clouding it with John Cena's going to be here and it is only on one line. No, everyone can meet almost everyone. It would make more sense in a trying to make it more of an independent thing. But if you're trying to run it at the same time, two big shows, Saudi and let's say New York, and okay, so match one is Saudi, match two is New York, match three is Saudi, match four is New York. Eh,
Well, see, the way they did it back in the day was they had their shows and what showed on TV. Now, mind you, what showed on the pay-per-view itself was the matches they wanted to show, right? So
mhm.
you can still have a full card, and the crowd's gonna get a full show, but they're gonna what's gonna go live on the main broadcast feed to everyone who's not at this place is gonna be a little mixture of both. So back in the day, now mind you, it wasn't. This is different now, but back in the day, it was regional, right? So New York got these matches. I believe Chicago got these matches, and California got these matches. And then on the broadcast, they showed maybe two matches from each location, but the place itself got its own full card. You get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but would it work? I don't think so. Would it be something that's more of, am I gonna go spend my money to go see that? That's just like, okay, Dynamite is fucking live in London, and then they have Collision going on at the same time, and I'm only using AEW because you can tell the caliber of stars they have on each show. Collision is running fucking live in Ohio. Are you gonna watch them both at the same time? No. Are you going to try to put both together on at the same time and try to make money? If it's in the states, sure, but if it's overseas and at the states at the same time, dude, you're kind of really like. pull in a hardcore fan from trying to see. Well, I came to see Moxley, who's the champ. He's not going to be here. Well, I don't want to watch this shit. I'm gonna stay home and pay for the pay per view to see my guy win because I'm not going to pay for it again later. Because then you're also kind of pulling at the fans of who they really want to see and watch. Because if I want to see my big stars, well, I don't want to be there because I can't watch the pay per view on my phone and still pay attention to the fucking house show.
Fair enough. And like I said, I wouldn't think about logistics, but I think I get the logic. I think if anyone could pull it off, it probably would be AEW in that
Mhm.
situation. But again, I'm just touching base on something that
Yeah, no, but
was unique, and is very it.
and maybe that's why they try not to do that again. But I bet you if they tried to do it, they would have some kind of success with it. But or maybe not, but it'd still be something to talk about.
Yeah,
Because who else is doing something like that right now? Nobody.
nobody. It's
No one's
different.
ran a simultaneously casted show at the same time as someone else, or let alone have two of their brands firing off in two different places of the world, which is fucking uncanny. But then you also have to think about time zones too.
Yeah, yeah. So when would start? Obviously in the afternoon, and it'd be New York earlier, and New York at a regular time, and California later, an earlier time. Again, a unique situation.
To me, what would make sense is if you're trying to simulcast, you have to record it and then play it back to edit everything. That would make more sense. That would make smart sense to do like a Friday and Saturday, and then show the whole pay per view in total on Sunday.
Would you sprinkle in live matches on Sunday?
No,
No, it'd just be all recorded.
I'll record it because you're going to get that live feeling from both places since you're watching it on pay per view.
True. So maybe doable if you think of it that way.
Hmm.
So I know a unique situation maybe will never happen again. It obviously didn't happen right away because I don't think it was as big of a success as what they thought it was. But I think nowadays the way it is set up now and the way you can simulcast a lot of things and watch all kinds of things on your phone or computer or TV, it's doable.
Hmm.
Maybe not feasible, but doable.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe one day.
Well, let me change gears on you here for a little bit. Let's deep dive a little bit in the past. I pulled up something here by CagesizeSeats.com.
All
Oh
right.
my god! Uh, and it's the 50 greatest WrestleMania matches per WWE.
50.
50. Now, obviously, we ain't gonna
Yeah,
go
you're
through
gonna
all
do
50 because
50.
that'd be
Yeah.
a fucking 10-hour show, and I got work tomorrow. Um, but you know what? Name me a number 1 through 50 off at the top of your head, and let's just throw the dart at the dartboard, pull up a match, talk about it.
Let's go right in the middle. 25.
25. Roddy Piper versus Bret Hart Intercontinental Title match, WrestleMania 8.
One of, if not the greatest fucking heels in Roddy Piper, who can talk. He's a fucking brawler. If you're gonna mixing with him, he's gonna beat your ass for real. On top of that, the biggest white meat baby face, good guy, Bret the Hitman Hart, who was hands down one of the best there was, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Shit, come on. Talk about a
Let's
good
go.
match.
Yes.
Talk about a good match. I mean, I don't remember this like clear as day. Obviously, WrestleMania 8, I was 8, 7, 7.
No, because I'm 1 year older than WrestleMania itself. So every year, I know how old I'm turning. If I
So I'm
forget,
5. I'm 5. I'm
yeah,
5. I was 5 years old this
we're,
time.
we're 3 years,
3 years.
3 years
Yeah,
apart.
3 years
Okay, so
apart.
then you're yeah, you go. You're
So,
5.
oh,
I would be 9 years old at this time.
oh, that's right. It's right after your birthday.
Hmm.
I would, I would be 4. So,
There you go.
so I clearly don't remember this match.
But thank God for recording devices.
Exactly. So WrestleMania 8, did Bret Hart win? Did it say on there? Bret Hart win?
It does not, but you know what? Thank you to SmackDownHotel.com. Oh my God, I can try to pull this up.
Because
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 8, Bret versus Piper. I couldn't imagine it was a shit show. with Piper talking all kinds of mess because that's what he does, and Bret Hart was a bona fide babyface, and Rowdy likes to stir shit up. That's his whole gimmick.
Come on. Why aren't you working? It didn't give it to me.
And give it to you.
Oh, you know what? Let me do something else real quick. Select an event type. Uh, Pay per view. WWE. I don't even know what year this would be. WrestleMania. Okay, here we go. WrestleMania 8, April 5th, 1992, Indianapolis, Indiana.
I was 6,
Rowdy Piper versus Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret Hart beat Rowdy Piper,
of
who was
course,
the champ at the time.
of course. I mean, babyface. A lot of times back, especially back in the day, the good guys usually won.
True.
Unless there was a bigger storyline for the bad guy, usually the good guy won at the end of the day.
Okay, well let's just dive into this card real quick just for funsies because there's some matches on here like son of a bitch. Okay, they had a dark pre-show, the Bushwhackers versus the
Wait,
Beverly
wait,
Brothers.
wait, wait. Let me just step real quick. I miss fucking dark matches before the fucking pay per view.
Yes.
Bring that shit. I appreciate that AEW gives you the pre-show, like an actual pre-show, not a bunch of fucking vignettes and all this bullshit. They give you actual matches to kind of feed in. I miss
Hmm.
that from the WWE because that was one of the things I looked forward to because a lot of times those pre-shows they really showed out to earn a spot maybe next year or for the
Or next month.
Monday after Raw or the Raw after
Uh-huh.
WrestleMania. So
Hmm.
missed it.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
So you had the Bushwhackers versus the Beverly Brothers, and the Bushwhackers came out on top
Okay.
via pinfall. And then you start the show. Shawn Michaels with Sensational Sherry versus El Matador.
So this is originally the heel run for Sean, right? Because he has
Uh-huh.
sensational Sherry, so nice. It's the boy
And
toy.
he beat El Matador.
Ah,
Then we
ah.
have The Undertaker with Paul Bearer versus Jake the Snake Roberts.
What win was this one? What number for this one? Because this is 90 what?
This is 92.
So this is his first win at WrestleMania or second win? Because I think he beat
Second.
the sorry, because he beat Snuka. Yeah, so second.
Yeah, I think this is his second win. And
Nice,
yes, he did beat Paul. He did win Paul Bearer by his side. And this is old school Taker with the fucking gray gloves.
nice.
Then we have the Intercontinental Championship, Bret Hart and Piper.
Okay.
And then we have a 4-on-4 match. And this to me seems like a gimmick match. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, Big Boss Man, and Virgil versus the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobs, Jerry Sags, the Mountie, and the Repo Man with Jimmy Hart.
I
This sounds like a fucking gimmick match.
I thought you were gonna say fucking Money Inc. and the fucking whoever else because
I
you got
mean,
Virgil on one side that would make more sense. But yeah, totally,
mhm.
total quick little payday for fucking putting all that hard work in the rest of the year during the year.
And the Faces came out on top.
Okay.
And then you have Tatanka versus Rick Martel. Tatanka came out on top.
Nice. That was my
You
guy,
have,
man. I used to fucking chop people in the heads. It didn't
oh
work,
yeah, dude.
but I used to do it all the time.
Speaking of Money Inc., the WWF Tag Team Championships were on the line. The champs, Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster with Jimmy Hart, IRS, uh, versus the Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon.
Nice.
And this match ended via countout, and the title did not change hands. So Million Dollar
Money.
Man and IRS kept the belts.
Nice.
Then you also had Owen Hart versus Skinner. Owen Hart came out on top.
Nice. Skinner versus the
Now,
fucking crocodile hunter.
is the would you say, and I'm not 100% sure,
Hmm.
would it be a big drawing name to be the main event, or would it be the championship, the world championship, as a main event?
92, was Hogan still there? Probably a big name. Probably a big name.
Because you have Hulk Hogan versus Sid Justice with Harvey Whippleman here, looking like it's the last match on the list, and usually it's the headliner. I would need to look at the video on this to see what's up, but that was that match, and Hogan came out on top. Well, via disqualification. I guess Whippleman probably fucked it up. And then you also had the WWF Championship that was a few matches back, or at least on the list. Macho Man Randy Savage with Miss Elizabeth versus Ric Flair, who was the champion at the time, with Mr. Perfect at his side. And the winner was Macho Man Randy Savage via pinfall to win the title.
That was the main event.
Mm. Are you sure? I don't know
Well,
because on the list it was a few matches back. The final one on the list of this one, because they usually have it ranked from dark match to headliner. It looks like the headliner was Hulk versus Sid Justice.
I I could see that because Hulk Hogan was bigger than a belt, and Vince McMahon didn't like that, so he fucking dropped his ass a tier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Don't be wrong, because most of the time, for the longest time, especially in the early or late '80s, early '90s, Hulk Hogan was usually the champ. But at
hmm
the end of the day, Hogan was bigger than the fucking belt. So I think the Macho Man was obviously the main, could have been the main attraction, but Hulk Hogan is Hulk Hogan, and it's talking about it's about selling fucking tickets, to be honest with you.
yeah,
And we've seen it before, especially more so now in these night twos. Like we've seen the opening match be the heavyweight championship match,
right,
right? And then the people who won the Royal Rumble got to main event it,
right.
whoever they're gonna fight, right? It was either women's or the
Well,
men's.
okay. So usually the one now, this is where everything is kind of fucking wonky. So whoever won Royal Rumble went on to fight the WWE champion. When there's two belts, it's the World Heavyweight and the WWE Championship, no matter what the iterations were called of each.
Yeah,
So WWE Champion was usually the one on night two on Sunday, right?
yeah.
World Heavyweight was on Saturday.
Hmm.
Isn't it weird how it switched this year?
Uh, yes and no, because that hasn't been confirmed,
It
but
has been confirmed.
that they're gonna be night two.
They're night two.
Well, it's about the name at this point. At that, if you break it down that way, it's because I think night one will be the women's. I think the night one will be Jade versus fucking Rhea, because they're gonna showcase Rhea. So that's my opinion.
So Drew's WWE.
So this is the tough part. If because it was announced, if Cody's gonna fight Drew this Friday. If Cody wins, hands down, the bigger story is Cody versus Randy. There's a lot more history, a lot more that they maybe could take away night two. Again, things cards subject to change.
I don't see them headlining night two.
I think that's a bigger story. I think hands down is a bigger story because there's actual history that they can build on to build it a bigger story. And Cody Rhodes is still your number one babyface, hands down. CM Punk has done a great
I see
job.
that closing night one. I see that closing night one.
I don't think it's closing night one. I think if anything, it's first match night one. If anything, but I think it has the potential to take over night two. I believe. And granted, obviously things are usually set in stone
No,
with
it's just you've been
WWE.
wrong a lot. So yeah, I
Whatever.
won't
I'm right a
give you
lot. We talking
anything on
about
that.
right a lot. So regardless, anyway,
Not when it comes to fucking match, fucking
layout.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, both the cage matches are gonna be back to back. Bah.
Well, you know what? No, no, no. Okay. Regardless of your bullshit, you're talking about WrestleMania 892. That year, Ric Flair won the Royal Rumble to become the champion, so it could still be the main event. To be honest with you, that was the year that Ric Flair came back and he
Hmm.
won the Royal Rumble, and he won the championship.
Right.
So that might have been the main event, but still,
And he
again, we're talking.
lost it at Mania to Macho Man.
Yeah. So
So
we'll
he
see.
held it for what, 3 months?
3 months.
Because they
Yeah.
didn't have Chamber back then.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They didn't have any pay-per-views. It was only the four pillars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool, cool. Well,
Okay.
pick it,
So
pick it,
that
pick it,
was
pick another match. Number 25, top
that
spot.
was number 25 from 1 to 50. So throw me another dart. Where you got
8.
number 8 on the list? We're sticking with the oldies, baby. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant WWE title match, WrestleMania 3. That
Hands
was
hands down, probably the most celebrated WrestleMania moment ever when Hulk Hogan lifted him up. Like that
mhm.
that that was a fucking spectacle.
March 29th, 1987 in Pontiac, Michigan.
I was 2 years old. I was one and a half. I
And
was
see,
into 2 years.
looking at this list, since they have it from, beginning match to end, the last match was Hogan versus Andre the Giant on this list. So that's crazy. If that's true and it sticks the way it is, Hogan versus Sid Vicious was the closer of that last WrestleMania 8 that we just finished talking about.
And that's a good possibility because again, it's we're talking about Hogan, right?
Yes. So
Dude,
do you want me to?
we can go down this match all day long. It's been fucking overdone. We know about this fucking match. So how about you give a random number and let's talk about that number.
Well, since I haven't really looked at all the list, let's go with 34.
34. All right.
Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair, WrestleMania 24.
Retirement match. Well, quote unquote retirement match for Ric Flair. I'm
WWE retirement match
I'm sorry. I love you.
in Orlando, Florida, March 30th at the Citrus Bowl.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love you. Right in front of your fucking daughter, Charlotte Flair, or FKA Ashley Flair, because she wasn't even a wrestler yet.
Flair. Mm-hmm.
Good emotional moment. Probably one of the. I know Ric Flair is Ric Flair. Let's just put that part out there before I say this. Ric Flair is Ric Flair, but this could have been hands down one of the best ways to go out.
Yeah.
Had he stayed retired, and granted, I mean, he hasn't never sullied his reputation because everyone says it the same thing. Flair is Flair. He was gonna do what he's gonna do. But if this was true, if he truly lived up to the this is my last match, that would have been a perfect or last match at least in WWE. But if it was his last match in general, no better person to go out by with and to take you down, right? I mean, Shawn Michaels, his fucking protege, his fucking mini me, essentially the way they acted, the way they were, how their fucking come ups were, and how they came to rise up from tag team or just a part of the Four Horsemen to the fucking main event. Like they call Shawn Michaels Mr. WrestleMania for a reason,
Yep.
and Ric Flair is fucking revered as one of the most memorable wrestlers alongside Hulk Hogan.
The greatest of all time.
Yeah, definitely a goat. Definitely, there's a lot to that. Great match.
But let's go through the card for funsies just because this one has some bangers on there.
A little more recent
So,
for sure. So go ahead.
Dark Pre-Show, 24-man battle royal. Other participants including Mark Henry, Tommy Dreamer, Hardcore Holly, The Great Khali, Chuck Palumbo, Jamie Noble, Cody Rhodes, Kofi Kingston, Brian Kendrick, Lance Cade, Trevor Murdoch, Val Venus, Jesse, Festus, Jimmy Wang Yang, Shannon Moore, The Miz, Elijah Burke, Stevie Richards, Hackjaw, Jim Duggan, Deuce, Domino, and Kane. And the winner of this battle royal was Kane.
I'll say Kane probably the winner on that one.
Winner
Yeah.
gets an ECW championship match later tonight. Then we have the Belfast Brawl between John Bradshaw Layfield and versus Finley with Hornswoggle at his side.
I was almost gonna say Sheamus Belfast, but I forgot Finley was the original.
That's right. And JBL won that match.
Did Hornswoggle make his little debut here? Since around
Who?
the time. Hornswoggle?
Hornswoggle was at his side.
I think this is why Finley lost because he was about to beat the shit out of Hornswoggle and he
Hmm.
just sacrificed the win to save him. Or
Yep.
at least in gimmick version, right?
Well, speaking of what we were speaking about earlier, 7-man Money in the Bank ladder match.
Ooh,
Winner gets a contract for a match for a world title of his choosing at any time within the next year.
I missed this one.
Participants: Chris Jericho, John Morrison, Shelton Benjamin, Carlito, Mr. Kennedy, Montel Vontavious Porter, and CM Punk.
So Chris Jericho on top, obviously.
The winner was CM Punk.
Oh, was that year? He first. That's the first win, huh?
Hmm.
That's when he becomes the ECW champion, right? No, he
No,
becomes a world
world heavy,
heavyweight champion. Yeah, world heavyweight champion.
world heavyweight. And then you
Great,
have,
great spot show out for Shelton Benjamin.
oh yeah, where
Non-stop,
he runs
dude.
up the ladder and oh yeah,
He
dude.
ran up the ladder. He did a seesaw to some. I think he did a seesaw to Morrison and
Morrison.
Jericho.
Didn't he break
Boom.
Morrison's nose or his jaw or something that
No,
night?
no, that was a Raw with Mercury, and he fucking busted up fucking Mercury's nose. Different one, but definitely similar.
Another match on the bill: Battle for Brand Supremacy. Batista representing SmackDown versus Umaga representing Raw.
Umanga. You remember that shit?
My
Umanga.
name is Alejandro. Uh, no,
Escobar.
Estrada. I forgot his middle name.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's right. It's the start.
Estrada.
I just remember
And this is
fucking.
my Samoan bulldozer, Umaga.
I remember fucking Taylor Long saying Umanga.
Yeah, Batista won that match.
Nice, nice.
Another match on the bill: the ECW Championship. The champion Chavo Guerrero, ooh Chavo, versus Kane, and Kane defeated Chavo to win the championship.
Nice.
Armando Alejandro Estrada. There it is. I have
There
it
it
in me right now. Like it's just boop. Yeah.
is. You have
And
to
then of
say it
course
too. You have to do
you
it.
have to, you
You
have
have to
to.
do it. You
And
know,
then
you
we
know,
had,
you know, you know. He just got a Legends deal, so you should expect
yep,
some Mattel toys with him and
dude,
Umanga.
come out with Solo or bring out Zilla. Zilla's his son. Zilla's Umaga's son. When he
That
finally,
dude, what a good callback. That would either Solo or fucking Jacob or fucking Zilla.
I
Winner.
would love to see him bring in Zilla Fatu because Zilla, if you watch him in GCW, he just defended the title not that long ago against MJF. And no, MJF defended the AEW
AEW.
championship at GCW versus Zilla. Zilla lost, but it was still a good showing. But he does the thumb also. He does the Samoan spike. That's his move too. That's his daddy's move, of course. That would be a hell of a fucking callback to fucking come out with Zilla for him to bring him out.
I would have brought my daddy water, but I was his little boy.
I was too small. I couldn't carry the water to him. uh, Another match. Well, we already talked about it. Sean versus Flair, of course. Then you also had the Playboy Bunny Mania Lumberjill match, and the master of ceremonies for this match was Snoop Dogg. It was Beth Phoenix and Melina versus Maria and Ashley Massaro, and the winners were Beth Phoenix and Melina. Santino Malera was there with Melina.
Nice.
Uh huh. And then you had the WWE Championship Triple Threat match.
Wait. He was actually with Beth Phoenix because they had a little gimmick together.
Not at that time. It says he was with Melina.
Interesting. I thought he had a little thing with of Beth Phoenix.
He
But
did
okay,
have one with Beth Phoenix, but it was later.
gotcha.
Because remember, later she was the
Glamazon.
she was the women's champion, and he had just lost the Intercontinental.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Then you have the WWE Championship Triple Threat match: John Cena versus Triple H versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton who came out on top as a champ with the spinner belt.
Nice.
Then you have the no disqualification match: The biggest versus the best. Floyd Mayweather versus the Big Show. And that's when Mayweather popped him in the face via knockout. Big Show took one to the chin. I remember that.
Yeah, gimmick match for sure, but great way
Hmm.
to introduce pop culture, right? Mayweather was one of the best undefeated boxing champions, so smart play.
Last but not least, the World Heavyweight Championship. The Undertaker versus the champion, Edge.
Hey, player, tonight you're going to one-on-one with the Undertaker.
And the Undertaker defeated Edge to win the World Heavyweight Championship
So
via submission.
that year, Hell's Gates probably right.
Yep.
That year, Edge was asked if he would want to be Undertaker, and he said no. This has been
Hmm.
mentioned year after year ever since fucking Undertaker lost his streak to Brock, but he was the first person. Edge was the first person to be asked, "Hey, it's time to break the streak," and he's like, "Fuck no, that streak is legendary. Like, why would I gain nothing from beating the Undertaker? None, nothing."
Hmm.
So kudos to him. So I'm gonna draw a number because well, we're still going down that list.
Give me one more.
You might as well go number one. Might as well. What is the greatest of 50 WrestleMania moment matches, whatever? What
The
is number
50
one?
greatest WrestleMania matches per WWE via CageSideSeats.com. Oh my God. Number one is The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25.
Can't fucking argue that one. One of the best run it back moments. Part one and part two. I enjoyed them both, but
The
this one probably does
25th
take it.
anniversary.
This one probably takes the cake because, well, shit.
And this
Light
happened
versus dark.
April 5th, 2009 at the Reliance Stadium in Houston, Texas.
Both Texas boys. Main event. WrestleMania. That probably is. Is this where Undertaker jumped and landed on his head and got concussed? Didn't remember the rest of the match. Is this the one?
I want to say yes.
Was this part one or part two?
Shoot. They were back to back, right?
They were back to back. That's
Let
what
me
makes it
see.
hard. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I'll tell you right
I
now.
don't know if it was 08, 09 or 09, 10. So
Uh, no, this is the first time because the second one is Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, and it's no disqualification, streak versus career. If Michael loses, he retires from in-ring competition. That's when he was in all white, wasn't it?
no, he came out all white the first one.
Oh, okay. Well, then they ran it back on 26. And
Okay,
that's where Shawn Michaels retired.
okay. So and I think personally the first one was the best one because you never really saw it. It's crazy as it sounds for like WrestleMania moments. You saw him fight, obviously, first Hell in a Cell and Bad Blood in your house. They've had SummerSlam moments, Survivor Series moments, but WrestleMania, yeah, Mr. Mr. versus fucking The Streak, pretty badass. Who was on this card? Because I think I enjoyed this full card on this.
Let me pull it back up because I was looking at 26. We're on 25. And number 25, the Dark Pre Show, was the WWE Tag Team Championship and World Tag Team Championship Unification Lumberjack match. The Colognes, Carlito and Primo, had the SmackDown belts, while The Miz and John Morrison had the Raw belts. Uh, to retain title WWE and to win the titles world. Um, the Colognes were the ones that won the lumberjack match and unified the belts.
Interesting. I thought it would have been The Miz and fucking Morrison.
Yeah, no, it was the Colognes.
Nice.
And then you have an 8-man Money in the Bank ladder match. Winner gets a contract for match of his title. I mean, match for the world title of his choosing at any time within the next year.
Bring this fucking back, dude. Bring it fucking back for WrestleMania.
Christian Finley with Hornswoggle, MVP, Kane, Mark Henry, Kofi Kingston, Shelton Benjamin, and CM Punk.
Christian, at last, he's on.
Hell yeah. CM Punk won this match.
So he won two
Amen. Yep.
at
Then you
WrestleMania.
had 25 Diva Battle Royal, Winners Crown Miss WrestleMania.
Don't remember this one. Okay, who won that one?
You don't remember this one?
I don't remember this one.
You had a whole bunch of women on this one. Alicia Fox, Beth Phoenix, Eve Torres, Gail Kim, Jackie Gata, Jillian Hall, Joy Giovanni, Katie Lee Burchill, Kelly Kelly, Layla, Maria, Maurice, Melina, Michelle McCool, Mickey James, Molly Holly, Natalia, Nikki Bella, Rosa Mendez, Sunny, Tiffany, Tori Wilson, Victoria, Brie Bella. But the winner,
Wait, you said it wrong. Kelly,
Kelly.
Kelly.
So the winner out of all these is Santina Marella.
Santina, that's right.
Hmm. Santina.
Dude, you know what? For Santina, Santino, dude, that motherfucker was so over. Hilarious.
Hmm. Very good comedic genius
You
in the
know what?
ring.
You would you think this is the very first ever strong woman, fucking the era of the trends and whatever,
Oh my god. Oh
where the
my god.
man wins the fucking
We
women
here at
run.
Beyond the Ropes do not condone anything that comes out of Randy's mouth. Uh,
Strong
if,
woman. I'm a strong woman.
but yes, I do believe that the role of intergender cosplaying in the world of wrestling, this is one of the highlights.
It's ahead of their time. WWE was ahead of their time.
Yes,
Way
they
ahead
were
of their time.
way ahead of their time before it was more embraced by AEW in the later years.
There you go.
Another match on the card, 3-on-1 handicap elimination match. Chris Jericho versus Roddy Piper, Jimmy Snuka, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, with Ric Flair by his side. Was when when Jericho was calling out all the geriatrics.
That's right.
Yeah, and Jericho won this match.
I thought he fought Jerry King Lawler also because he was an announce
I think
table.
Lawler came out after it was over because I think Jericho was beating up on him afterwards.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds familiar.
yeah, and Lawler hits him with his fucking heart attack punch or whatever he does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
heart punch or whatever the fuck I forgot. Yeah,
Heart
no, he
punch,
had a heart attack.
Jesus
My
Christ.
bad, my bad.
BTR
uh,
does not condone what Fernando
there we go. Yeah. Next we have the Extreme Rules match: Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy.
Brother versus brother. Like
Yep.
this. This is a good one. I think Jeff Hardy came out on top, right?
Was it version one, Matt?
That was version two, I think.
No, it was version one. It was always version one. It's never version two,
Oh,
because
that was version two.
he always did the symbol for V1 version one.
Hmm. That was version two. I
No,
could be wrong. Probably wrong.
you are. But Matt Hardy won on this match.
Probably.
Yeah, Matt
Nah.
Hardy won this match. Next on the card, the WWE Intercontinental Championship: Rey Mysterio versus JBL John Bradshaw Layfield, who was the champ at the time. Mysterio wins via pinfall to win the title.
Nice. This is when Rey Mysterio was hot on fucking SmackDown.
Booyaka.
But JBL was on his trajectory to become the heavyweight champion, so I can see
Hmm.
why he was losing this belt. And you gotta drop something to gain the next one, right? That's just what it is.
Exactly.
Ask Rhea Ripley. She just lost the tag team belts and she just won Elimination Chamber. So is that premonition? Is that a spoiler? No. It's not a
Is that a
prediction.
prediction?
It's a
No, it's a
spoiler.
spoiler. That's right. You also have the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, which we're talking about. The first of two encounters back to back. Taker taking that via pinfall. Then you have the two championship matches, the World Heavyweight Championship triple threat match: Big Show versus Edge, with Vicky Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero on the side while he was champion, versus John Cena, and John Cena came out on top, winning the heavyweight championship.
Was that number 10?
Possibly.
You don't have to look it up. I know it wasn't.
Oh no, that'd take a while for that one. Fuck no, I don't know the list of which one he won. I need to have that handy. And then last but not least, the WWE Championship. If Triple H gets counted out or disqualified, he loses the title. Triple H was a champ, obviously, versus Randy Orton, and Triple H won via pinfall to retain the title. So the year before, Randy won the championship and then lost it to Triple H at some point.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the match card that goes with the number one of the 50 greatest WrestleMania matches per WWE. Just to ramble off a couple other ones for the funsies before we get out of here, 'cause I know we've been talking quite a bit on this subject, which is always awesome. Why? Because this is WrestleMania season, and we're going to be getting even more moments as we progress through the years. But I would like to say I'd love to see more moments and botches, because if you watched the last PLE that happened, we got more botches than moments, and we'll talk about that on Thursday because our recap in the week of wrestling happens on Thursdays. Bell to bell, baby, ding ding.
So that was his. I have it here. That was Cena's fifth World Heavyweight Championship.
Fifth?
Fifth,
Damn.
because that happened in 2009, right?
Hold on, my thing got stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oh
Yeah,
nine.
right. Yeah, that was his fifth run.
That's crazy.
Fifth of 17, baby.
I know that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but that was a little special on WrestleMania
Hold on. I'm not
moments.
done yet. I'm not done yet. I
Oh,
was
okay.
gonna ramble off a few before we get out of here.
Okay.
Some more of those greatest WrestleMania matches. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a submission match, WrestleMania 13.
I would put that up top
That wasn't
five, top
number.
10.
That's number two.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay. I can see that.
I'll just how about I'll ramble off the top 10.
Perfect.
Should I go 10-1?
10-1.
Number 10, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch in the triple threat match, WrestleMania 35. Number 9, how about each one of these? Just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. What you thought about it?
Number 10. I don't like that Ronda Rousey was in it, but Becky Lynch two belts. I'll agree on
Okay.
that one.
Number 9, Ultimate Warrior versus Randy Savage retirement match, WrestleMania 7.
Don't like those retirement match.
Number 8, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3.
Probably one of the best. Yeah.
Number 7, Dudley's versus Hardy's versus Edge and
Fuck
Christian
yeah.
TLC match, WrestleMania 17, brother.
That should have been top five, but definitely a thumbs up on that one, hands down.
Number 6, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, undisputed WWE title match, WrestleMania XL.
I put it a no. It wasn't one. It wasn't a big moment for me, but I guess in this generation, absolutely,
Number 5, The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, WWE title match, WrestleMania 17.
absolutely, probably one of the best heel turns, unexpected alliances between Vince McMahon and Stone Cold. Absolutely,
Number 4, Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat, Intercontinental title match, WrestleMania 3.
yes, one of the fucking longest build-ups, a year build-up for this match, and it did not disappoint. Absolutely.
Number 3, The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan, WrestleMania 18. I mean, it's number 3.
Shit, this made Hulk Hogan Hollywood into back to the red and yellow
And this
Hulkster.
put The Rock over like a
Yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah, absolutely. Turn
Number
it
2,
was so good it turned heel Hogan into fucking face Hogan.
mm-hmm. Number 2, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin submission match, WrestleMania 13, and this is where we got the Bloodstone, right?
Absolutely Bloodstone.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And then, of course, number 1 again, The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25, and this is the list that we got 10 out of the 50 from CagesideSeats.com. Oh my god!
I definitely agree with the 10. I could probably would have got rid of the Roman and Cody and probably the women's because of Ronda because her lack of respect for the wrestling business. But
But it's nice to have a women's match in the top 10.
absolutely, that's what I was gonna say. I would much rather have gone Sasha and Belair up there.
And I would have thrown in the Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels
Ladder
Intercontinental
match.
title ladder match a little
Yes.
higher because
Yes.
that was number 12. I would have thrown it higher.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this: where was Sasha and Belair ranked on there? Had to have been pretty high.
Number 19, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair SmackDown Women's Title match, WrestleMania 37.
I would have flipped that with 10, and I would have flipped Razor and Shawn with fucking Cody and Roman for sure.
They named Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's title. WrestleMania 39 is number 16.
That's a good one. Hands down, that was probably the best match of night one, and I'm surprised why it was like mid card. So I remember specifically seeing this match and hearing Ric Flair bitch about it, saying, "How the fuck does Charlotte Flair or Rhea Ripley win and they're not the main event? Isn't the whole point of winning the Royal Rumble to be a main event?" So
Hmm.
I remember that. It was a great match for sure.
But yeah,
Well,
there's some women's matches on this list, so it's good to see. Another one that's on here, number 36, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title on Mania 38. And
okay,
then you have Charlotte versus Becky versus Sasha for the WWE Women's title at WrestleMania 32.
that's a
That
good
was
one.
number 31. And in that tag match, you got Ronda and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, WrestleMania 34. That was number 21 on the list. And you have Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, SmackDown Women's title, WrestleMania 37, number 19. We talked about that. So yeah, and at least there's a handful on this list out of 50, so it's not too bad.
That's not bad when the majority of WWE WrestleMania moments was dominated by men. Obviously, right? There's more matches, and especially in the old school matches. So
Like the Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan versus Batista for the world title match at WrestleMania 30. That was number 32. That's a good one.
what at 32, I would raise that up a little bit higher to at least the 20s
Hmm.
or the teens, maybe. But regardless, I mean, it's not our list, but a good list. We can, we have our opinions and can agree and disagree with.
Yeah.
But we are on the road to WrestleMania. That is the whole point of this particular show. We are 46 days away from night one of WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. Oh, not only do you got a Dynamite ring, you got a WWF ring. I like it. I like it. I love it. So we're gearing up to, we just started seeing some storylines popping up after the Chamber, during the
Shout out to my boy
Chamber.
Fred. Shout out to my boy Fred.
Nice, nice. So we're getting closer. We're gearing up to WrestleMania. We got a month and 2 weeks.
We're under 7 weeks.
Under
We
7 weeks.
just started. We're on 7 weeks to WrestleMania. Realistically, by the time SmackDown's done, we'll be 6 weeks in. I know Raw is in Seattle the following Monday. I believe it's the 10th or something like
10th,
that, or the 9th.
the ninth.
And then the Monday after that, they'll be here in San Antonio, Texas, baby, on the 16th.
And you can expect to see Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, of course, your current World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. And after the fucking low blow he just gave to Roman Reigns about his dead dad, we're gearing up to see some shit.
Oh man, I'm gonna bury you right next to your father. I was like, let's fucking go. That was just up there with the pipe bomb. It's like your arms are too short to box with God. Oh man, give me
You know
more.
what?
Feed me more, Ryback. Feed me more.
If you're gonna play it right, dude, you just have fucking CM Punk go after all the Samoans. Fuck it, fuck it. But here's the thing: if you play it that way, you get one of two things. You get CM Punk becoming the ultimate heel by just taking things too far, which I'm okay with. But you can also change the trajectory of every Samoan currently in the WWE that turns on Punk. You got the Usos who are cool with Punk. You got Jacob Fatu. You got all of MFT because even though they're heels and even though everyone has their own thing, when you talk about someone's dead daddy, especially in the Samoan culture, you got to expect some heat right back, right? So this could be something more where they really put Punk through the fucking ringer, and then going into WrestleMania, he could become either the ultimate babyface or the ultimate heel, and it could be a good change. It's a nice turn. It's a way to do it. I was thinking this year it'd be Cody turn, but hell, we might have a CM Punk turn, and I'm okay with it.
I am very okay with it. But you know what we also need, which is kind of crazy and obscene to talk about in WWE, but we need a new faction. We need a new NWO. And I could see Finn Balor running that.
New world order.
Nothing like Judgment Day. Just another just rowdy bunch of fucking people to fuck shit up. But
Thought
this won't happen if something were a trajectory to put in trajectory for this kind of situation to happen until after Saudi Mania.
thought thought process. Yeah, I like the idea of Finn Balor because of how that went down on during the elimination chamber, and he didn't ask for help. He just lost like a man. But he put Punk to the ringer. You get all the New Japan guys: Balor, Shinsuke, Tama, maybe fucking Hikaru, like from the NFT. Like, dude, it could be something big. It could be like a version of the Bullet Club since they never pulled the trigger with AJ Styles while he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe AJ Styles is a fucking manager. Maybe he's the mouthpiece. I don't know. I'm reaching on that one, but I like where your head's at. A new fucking faction, something fresh, something different. Bring in New Japan style people
Something
there.
to, even if it's not New Japan people, I'm just saying in general, give us a dirty faction that's gonna wreak havoc on both shows. Because right now, they need that kind of shake up. I get the one. I get some of the pairings they're doing with people, and they run them 3 to 6 months or whatever the case. That's cool. But I think if you were to rough shot another large faction to come through and start just mulling through both shows like the Nexus did, I think it would be fucking great.
Yeah, but all you have to do is wait, stay tuned because we are on the road to WrestleMania. Catch us live this Thursday on
Take a drink every time Randy
Facebook.
says that.
Catch us live this Thursday on Facebook and Twitch. Make sure to comment, join in the chat. We had some people we had a gentleman from England this past week, and we had some local
Shout
friends
out.
on the Facebook and on Twitch. Join us
Shout
on
out.
any platform. We're getting close to being live on YouTube. We're nearing the end of this Twitch run, and it's time for a new jump, maybe a new handle. We're talking about changing some things up, keeping some layouts, but changing some things up. New sponsors, new everything, new merch. But all you can do is stay tuned for more stories, more violence.
And don't forget, brother, every time Randy says road to WrestleMania, take a shot and kill yourself. And make sure it's that Everclear. It's Everclear you're doing that with. But we are the podcast that hits back, brother. Oh yeah.
Woo!